No.
Oi, how are you all doing? Just a quick cheeky little preview today. I'm off work, as you can see, I'm at home. So I'm going to make the most of it. Thought I'd do a cheeky little video. It's Arsenal with Girona later, or Girona v Arsenal rather. Bit of a dead rubber game for me, if I'm being personally truthful. There's nothing in it for them at all. In fact, I didn't realise how low they were in the table, especially considering the decent season that they had last year. I was quite shocked to see that they're 31st in the Champions League table. In their last 6, they've won 1, I think, and lost all the rest. So it don't really make for pretty looking for them, does it really? For us, obviously, we're sitting third. We're not going to be able to get first because Liverpool, let's face it, have absolutely smashed it. At the top, winning all 7-7, absolutely fair dues. Can't knock that. Possibly would be able to go second. 2 points behind Barcelona, so they'll obviously have to have a bit of a shocker. They'll have to lose that because I think they're had us on goal difference quite considerably. They've scored a lot more. We've conceded a couple more, but conceded a few less. Sorry, but they've scored a hell lot more than we have. So I think they'll have to have a cheeky little loss, which I don't really foresee. But look, the game itself anyway. I think it actually comes at quite a good time for Arsenal, considering we haven't set the Champions League on fire, really, have we? Let's get it right. But we haven't embarrassed ourselves by any stretch of the imagination either. We're sitting third, deservedly third, there or thereabouts, whatever. It's quite tight from third, fourth, and sort of fifth. There's a couple of points in it. But we've got Girona away, of course. They're 8th in their actual domestic league as well. They're nothing fantastic either. They're out. They've got nothing to play for, as I've just sort of said. Perhaps, sort of sitting 8th. I think there's about 4 points between sort of 5th for them. So they're trying to be pushing obviously for a Europa League in their domestic thing. So maybe, they'll probably sort of half sit and think, yeah, this ain't really our game. I don't know who they've got on the weekend, but I would have thought that they'd be more focusing on the league in their domestic league. And I'd be guessing or at least sort of hoping that we'll be doing the same. By that, I mean, of course, we've got Manchester City coming up on Sunday. A game which I will be attending. I missed it last year, the Martinelli deflected winner, of course. Every year I've gone and watched Arsenal, we've either been absolutely annihilated. 1 year we deserved to win. We lost 2-1. Xhaka lost his head, I think, again. Shock. Another year, I think it was closely contested. I think then we lost 3-1 in that in the 93% year. And yeah, I was on holiday last year or the year before, whenever it was, when we won 1-0. So, they're not exactly in the best form. They're coming up a little bit, Manchester City. But I'd be hopeful if I can see a win on Sunday. But yeah, by that sort of mean I expect us to be resting a few players. I've got my team sheet up here. What I would expect Arsenal to sort of put out. It's my only, obviously, personal opinion, but I'd expect us heavily to be resting a few players, and there's definitely a few players I do not even want to see in the squad, let alone in that starting lineup. And I'll just get that up for you now. Bear with us for 2 seconds. So in goal, bit of a surpriser, but I'm actually going to go for a bit of Neto. By that I mean it's a bit of a disaster signing anyway. We signed him for the cups, and he was cup tied. I mean, what do you do with that? I don't think he was cup tied in the FA Cup, of course, but you drew Manchester United at home, and you're probably not going to really be playing Neto in that. Not that it was any anyway, because we fucking lost. Well done. But yeah, if you're Neto, I mean, you've got to be playing this game, really, or expecting to maybe play this game. Otherwise, when are you going to play him? Because he's not going to play in the Premier League next year. In the rest of the season, barring obviously we hope there ain't going to be any form of injury to David Raya, of course. And this is my defence. I've gone with Yuri and Timber at right back because, I mean, who else is there? Thomas Partey, no thanks, please. Anything but Thomas Partey. I've gone for Big Gabs because we probably played him a little bit too much this season, if I'm being honest. But if out the two, especially with Saliba's little knock that he's had, I know he played against Wolves. But I just think this is just such a low risk sort of game. What would be the point of playing him? So I'd stick Big Gabs in there. And I'd also play Tierney left-sided centre-back. I'm done with Kivior. If he plays, I mean, yeah, whatever. But I would rather be playing Kieran Tierney, if I'm being honest with you. And as well, not only just that, it would be a little bit more, maybe natural sort of left-sided cover should Martin Lewis Skelly sort of want to be going a little bit forward. And of course, that's who I've gone for. Thankfully, PGMOL, wow, start talking English soon, when I PGMOL have overturned the red card. I mean, come on, man. That was sort of a banker we was kind of hoping for, really. They seem common sense. It is what it is. We know they're an absolute pile of shit, the PGML. So is Howard Webb, who runs it. So are pretty much all the refs there. They're all disastrous. It's not just for us. It's for everyone. But yeah, that's my sort of back line. And you know, depending on who was on that bench, definitely not going to be Heaven because he's just signed for Manchester United. Who cares? I would sort of be trying to take either one of Timber and or Gabriel off, because I think there's 5 substitutions in this competition. So they definitely don't all need to be playing. I'd definitely be resting sort of one or both of them. Maybe perhaps Timber a little bit more than Gabriel, purely because of that ACL. We've absolutely ran him into the ground this season because of injuries, but we've got no backups. But going into the midfield, let's have a little look. I don't particularly like the midfield. I'm going to be totally honest with you. You've got Martin Odegaard. He was a little bit ill for the Wolves game, but coming back, I'm kind of hoping that this is going to be one of them games where he can at least just maybe come back to a bit of form, do something, because you know he's been hiding again for the last couple of months. He'll give you the odd performance, obviously, but you know this performance where he can come back, shake off his illness, whatever the bloody hell he's had, and go forward. I'm resting rather than choosing Mourinho and Jorginho. I'm resting Thomas Partey and Declan Rice. Thomas Partey, you know, he's pivotal to what we do in that 6th position, and Declan Rice has been in fantastic form. I definitely don't want them to anywhere near this game before a game like Manchester City. So I'm very reluctantly going with Moreno. He's back now, and Jorginho. It's hardly a midfield that fills you with any sort of fear if you're the opposition, really, is it? But he's there sort of nonetheless. And I expect him surely to be able to at least get through this game against Girona. And there we go. That's the midfield done. Going up top. I've gone for Nwaneri. Didn't have the best of performances, really, did he? And quite rightfully sort of taken up the limelight at Wolves. But it's another opportunity for him. He's young. These are the minutes that he needs to be getting. Champions League football, you know what I mean? It's a good bit of experience for him. Getting them minutes in, you know, another chance to sort of prove himself. On the other side, I've gone for Martinelli. You're just hoping that there's going to be a game where he can just springboard him back into life, and we can see any sort of resemblance, rather, of the Martinelli that we saw 2 years ago, because he's been missing really for the best part of 18 months. Again, like Odegaard, you've seen glimpses, but glimpses don't win you Premier League titles in important positions, like the creativity in midfield that Odegaard should be given, as well as the goals. And Martinelli, you know, you're expecting at least double figures in them goal scoring. You know, you want minimum 10, but really for forward lines with Arsenal, who have no striker, and we'll come to that in a second, you really need Martinelli to be getting between 10 and 15 league goals, I genuinely believe, if you're not going to have a striker. You know, with chipping him anywhere between 5 and 10 assists. That, to me, would be acceptable level. And Martinelli's really, really not at that level. You know, if you're not going to have a striker, you need to bring Saka levels in, you know, GA. Martinelli does nowhere near that. And with no striker, you just can't have that. So the only reason I've gone for Eeyore up top is purely because I wouldn't play him against Manchester City. I would play Trossard up there in that false 9 position. So I'm just sort of almost giving Trossard the rest, just so if it was me, I would definitely be starting him against Manchester City. Havertz is no good. Not for me. I think he's a donkey. Needs about 30 chances, clear-cut chances before he puts any of them away. But this game is just, for me, it's just a body. Get someone in there. This team sheet that I've personally picked is mostly all about saving it for Sunday. And that's sort of literally it. Would I take players off? You know, perhaps, yeah, you'd take Odegaard off, you know, depending on what the scores are and all that. I'd probably take Martinelli, maybe, depending on what sort of game he's having off. And Gabriel or Timber or both, you know, I'd definitely be looking to make substitutions at some stage in the second half, purely to just help the squad, because I mean we're already depleted in terms of injuries and we've got no real numbers anyway. So that's how I'd sort of be going for that for the Girona lineup. And again, of course, to just reiterate, might not be the best attractive looking team on there. I'd expect them to get some form of job done at Girona, but it's all about really that Manchester City game on the Saturday. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. It's always going to be a bit of a brief one anyway. I will be doing a reaction after the Girona game. Maybe another little quick one, but I will go live for that. Don't forget, drop a like, a cheeky little sub, and enjoy the rest of your day. And fingers crossed, next time you see from me, we're just talking about a very easy 2-0 win at Girona in the Champions League. Take care, and I'll see you soon.